All right, it's Sunday morning, and you know what that means. Time for another lesson in the internet's only and best week-by-week hieroglyphic lesson course, Doodling with Purpose. I'm your host, Scott Toy Guru Neitlich, and if you're not here for Kiki videos or toy industry videos, you're here to learn ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. So we're talking about verbs. We're really going to get into them. So we've talked about the multiple classes of verbs. There are strong verbs. There are doubling verbs, which shockingly have two of the same consonant, hence doubling. And then we have our weak verbs, which usually end in a T or an I, even though it's sometimes not even there. I know, confusing. And then you have your extra weak verbs, which usually also end in a T or an I. How do you know which type of verb you have? Well, you just kind of learn them, and over time you'll know what verb you're dealing with and what class. As far as the tenses, very much like English, you have the infinitive, the general present, specific present, the past, and the future as far as your tenses. There's also, of course, your negative tenses. You're going to have your general present negative, your past negative, your future negative. And we're going to get to all of these. We're going to hit all of these different types. There's also two verb tenses that exist in Egyptian that don't exist in English. The relative form, which has a present and a past, and the participle, which has a present and a past. So don't worry about those for now. We're going to go, we're going to go get to them. All right. So for starters, we've done the infinitive. That is where weak and extra weak verbs get an extra T. So in this case, you have your strong, doubling, weak, and extra weak. So you note your weak and your extra weak have a T at the end. That is your clue as to what tense you're dealing with. All right. So before we jump into another verb tense, let's do a quick review of suffix pronouns. So for those of you keeping track at home, and hopefully you're all at home, your suffix pronouns are I, you, he, she, we, and they. And in hieroglyphic Egyptian, there's also a feminine form of you and a plural form of you. These are very important to know. We did them a couple lessons ago, but make sure you're keeping track and making flashcards of these. So I, you've got your man, which is I. You have K, you feminine, T, you plural, TN, tn, he, F, she, S, we, N, and they, SN. All right, so let's jump in now to the general present, your second verb form. So it's going to start with the basic form of the verb. And the only clues you're going to have to this form is the doubling. So doubling verbs double in the general present. There are some forms where they don't double. And they're going to be followed by a suffix pronoun. So those are your two clues. Doubling verbs double, and all of them are followed by a suffix pronoun. Otherwise, you'll use the context of the paragraph. So here we have the verb for see, ama, and it's followed by the suffix pronoun he, the horned viper pronounced f. So this would be pronounced ama, f, ama, f. All right, or if it's she sees, same verb, same doubling verb, and now we're going to follow that by the suffix pronoun for she, which is the bolt of cloth, pronounced s. So ama, s, would be she sees. So you could do this with any suffix pronoun, any of them. I, you, he, she, we, they, you plural. Whatever you are using, you just put it at the end of the verb. Now, if you have a verb that's not a doubling verb, same thing, and you're just going to have to use context to know what tense. But the fact that you have the suffix pronoun immediately following it is also your big hint. And I should also note that in transliteration, it's always written as verb equals the suffix pronoun, so in this case, F. And so this would be he throws, or ama equals F. So throws he, or in English, he throws, with the equal sign always used in transliteration to tell the reader that you're reading a verb and what the suffix pronoun is. All right, we're really getting into it now. Verbs, more verbs coming up. Each week we're going to kind of introduce a new tense. So keep track of these. Pause the video if you need. Make index cards because we're getting into some heavy stuff now. Thanks for watching as always. Give this video a like, a subscription, a comment. All of it helps tell YouTube to share it with more people. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here next week for more doodling with purpose.